Today I'll be making some lasagna. Um, if you want to avoid the pasta, you could take, for example, zucchini and cut it in slices like that, and then use that as sort of the pasta. Could be like this, could be a bit thinner. That way you avoid the carbs. Or you can just cut it up and add it to the sauce, whichever you like. If you do decide to use the zucchini as layers, then grilling them first is always a nice idea. Now I'm also going to add some carrot to it. Um, the carrot will give a bit of a sweet hint to it as well, and that way you don't have to add any sugar to the sauce. Now I'm just gonna cut them in half and then make pieces like that. You could make julienne if you would like, or just take the pre-cut julienne carrot if you like. But since I've got the time, I might as well just cut it myself. Now, of course, the finer you cut the carrot, the shorter the preparation time will be. The cooking time. So for the bechamel sauce, it's not going to be entirely bechamel sauce. It's going to be based on bechamel. I will heat up some butter, add some flour to make the thickening agent, then add a little bit of chopped garlic, a bit of chopped onion, then add the milk. Then afterwards, if you want, you can make it sort of like a cheese sauce and add some cheese, but I'm not going to do that because I'll add the cheese later on top. For the sauce, I've got some chopped onion. I still had some zucchini here from when I was doing something else. Some carrot, a bit of the base, the stem of broccoli, and I've got some chopped zucchini there. I'll add some minced meat, some tomato puree, and that will be the sauce. And then I'll make some layers with sauce, lasagna leaves, the bechamel based sauce, and put that in oven dishes. So I melted about 50 grams of butter on a really low heat. Then I added the chopped onion and chopped garlic. And now I'm going to add about a tablespoon of flour, and that will make the thickening agent. I heat it only for like 2-3 minutes because I don't want to have the roux go too dark, because that will give a dark color to the sauce, and I like to try and keep the sauce as white as possible. So now it's starting to work. The flour will be activated and that will help to thicken the sauce. I'm going to add about 500 milliliters of milk. That's the milk in. I didn't put everything in because if the sauce is too thick, I can add a bit more milk to make it thinner again. And now I'm going to bring that to a boil. While I'm occasionally stirring the bechamel based sauce, I'm already starting on the tomato sauce. So I'm sauteing some minced meat, then I will add the carrot, the broccoli, and then later the onion and the zucchini. And then in the end I will add some spices and the tomato puree. When the minced meat is about brownish, I already added the carrot, since that's the hardest vegetable of the ones that I'm using, so that will have a longer cooking time. In the meantime, the sauce is starting to thicken nicely. You have to keep on stirring it so it doesn't stick to the bottom and you don't get burned spots in there. So I added in all the vegetables. I added some salt, some Italian spices, and now I'm adding the tomato puree. Mix that nicely together so that the flavors can all blend in. And then taste it to see if it's any good. Meanwhile, the sauce is not as thick as I would have liked it to be, so I might just Mix a bit of water and flour together and then add that in so that it will help thicken. So I should have started off probably with 2 tablespoons of flour to the mixture. What I did was mix some water with some flour and then added that to the sauce, then brought it to a boil, and now you can see it's nice and thick. It's probably not as thick as the ones that you would buy in the shop, but this is homemade and I'm quite satisfied with it. I boiled some water and I put in 3 of the lasagna leaves. That way they already start to be done, and I want to avoid that after I put the lasagna in the oven, they're still going to be uncooked. Over here I'm starting with building it. So I put in the pasta sauce first, then I'm going to put a layer of the lasagna leaves, then some bechamel sauce, then again the tomato sauce, etc. So that's the first set of layers done. The pasta sauce at the bottom, then the lasagna leaves, and then the bechamel sauce. So that's 3 layers in there. And those 2 bowls obviously good for 2 days. Then when I want to prepare it further, I will put it in the oven at about 190-200 degrees for about 30 minutes. And of course you can put on grated cheese or mozzarella, parmesan. I'll just put on some cheese and then put it in the oven. This is fresh out of the oven. It was still sizzling. Smells nice. Let me see if I can give you a look on the inside. So you see the different layers there. Homemade lasagna. Enjoy.